reminder for those that missed it, our first franchise of the year is going to be with the Toronto Maple Leafs. I have never used the Maple Leafs in a franchise mode. Now is as good a time as any. On top of that, we are utilizing Custom League. Eraser, thank you for the 3 months on the primer. And we have a 48-team NHL. It's a beautiful thing. 48 teams in this league. As absurd as that is, again with a Northwest division that looks like this. I will actually go through and showcase the jerseys there as well. But like I mentioned, the jerseys, I treated them just like I did with some of our more expansive options. You know, like when we did like the draft class versus draft class, you can have 4 conferences in Custom League, if I'm not mistaken there. Again, I did a little tutorial video. It's out on the YouTube channel. Frederick, go check that out. Answers every question that you have. So a lot of the jerseys look like absolute dog shit because I had to make 16 teams. It's like, okay, pick the template, assign the color. That's what it is. I also know some people are very upset that the Sharks that the Sharks are not in the same division. What players did you put for the extra 16 teams? So we did a fantasy draft, but we filled it out with ECHLers since they do not factor into franchise mode at all to begin with. So we'll go over what the team looks like, but really quickly then, let's back out, take a look at those jerseys for these teams. Whenever I release a first roster update of the year, which will be at least a month from now, you know, technically these will be there. Over to the Creation Zone to create a team. The Peck City Pride. I love that team, but I really did burn out on NHL 22. Badly. Shout out to the Albuquerque Railers. And again, we went over this in one of the videos as well, just kind of explaining the names, the logos, if there was a reason for it or not. Would you believe it or not, this is actually one of the better uniform sets compared to what some of these other teams look like. As I mentioned, we based the team colors off of the flag of each city. We tried to match up the name as best we could, and we ended up doing, you know, a couple of different options for team names. You know, a team name like the Atlanta Tuskers is just because, like, oh, you know, Georgia Bulldogs and Alabama football is a pretty good comparison. But it's randomized as best it can be. Some of these jerseys do end up looking half decent. And don't worry, we'll get into some of them that look absolutely terrible. And it's beautiful. Yeah, shout out to the Baltimore Spiders. Very Pittsburgh-esque for Baltimore. We had to go yellow and black, otherwise it would have looked very Bruinsy. But what I learned through this process is that some cities have either very similar looking city flags or just absolutely horrific looking flags, with the worst example of graphic design is my passion I've ever seen. We got the Golden State Warriors. Like, you can't tell me that doesn't look like the Warriors logo. With the Halifax Beacons. The Halifax Beacons. Very, one of numerous very blue and yellow teams. We gave them chrome buckets and chrome gloves. Not everybody got the chromed out look. Some teams did, though. Some teams did. So, like I said, some of these look okay. It's not like I put effort into them. It's literally just autofill the template with the team colors. So, feel free to critique them. It won't hurt my feelings. Certainly won't hurt my feelings. But a lot of blue and yellow on city flags. This is probably the first truly atrocious jersey. This is absolutely awful. Like, absolutely awful. And it's not even the worst one. That's the best part. That's the best part. God damn. Oh, Indy. Reaver, that's the thing, though. Like, I'm not worried about these jerseys looking like shit. I prefer them to look terrible, to be honest. Like I said, when you got to add in 16 teams, it is best to just autofill and see what you get. Because, hey, some teams end up looking pretty good. Others do not. Which logo was it that Fiance's 24's friends? Oh, I'll tell you which one she threw up in her mouth over it. It's coming up. I did tell the story on the videos that were posted this morning that, one of my fiance's best friends is a graphic designer, and there's one city flag that is just so horrifically ugly. Louisville might have the best jerseys of the bunch. This color scheme really, really works. So shout out to the Louisville Lions, especially that home jersey. They got really lucky with the template selections. They absolutely did. Who did not get lucky is Memphis. Memphis's color scheme with that particular logo did not work out very well at all. Not at all. Yep, they got one of the trash sets. They really did. It's a pretty rough set of jerseys there. When are you supposed to get the reward for the X Factor edition? Well, given that the game has been out for 9 minutes, probably sometime soon. Custom based in Georgia, also elephant themed. Georgia Mammoths. I mean, Fusei, not bad. I was gonna go with elephants, and I'm just like, mammoth, mastodons. We went with the Tuskers. Oh, here's the one, the Milwaukee Guardians. Jesus, should I wait until actual release to start? Be a pro. You should wait for the first roster update because there are missing players right now. So these jerseys, I chromed it out because why not? It can't be any worse. Now you might be thinking like, wow, those jerseys are trash. Let me tell you, it's not nearly as trash as the actual flag for the city of Milwaukee. That is the flag for Milwaukee, Wisconsin. You now see why these jerseys are the abomination that they are. How would they not be? How would they not be? So shout out to Milwaukee for not understanding basic concepts of graphic design and for designing their flag in Microsoft Paint. They did a great job. Whoever second grader made that flag in art class, that kid's going places. That kid's going places.
What was that?
In Oklahoma. Again, not a very good one. It's at least not offensive. It's at least not offensive. That's the most you can say for some of these is at least the jerseys aren't offensive. It's the best you can do. Omaha ended up being very St. Louis. Like, very, very St. Louis.
Emotional
for the Omaha Warhogs. Damn good logo, though. Slashy, what's happening? How are you? How the heck are you? We got the Portland Tree Choppers because it's Oregon. They log, right? They like green and the woods and chromed out looks. No city makes me think of chrome more than Portland, Oregon. Oh, God. The discount Portland Timbers, basically. Slashy, I'm doing great. The Quebec City Don Didier. Because why not? Why not? I mean, you see a fleur-de-lis, you have to go. You have to go with it. Unfortunately, their jerseys are terrible. Unfortunately, their jerseys ended up being pretty damn trash, despite a promising color scheme. So, that was disappointing. That was disappointing. Could just gone with the Nordiques. Now, why would I do that? Why would I do that, though? That's boring. That's boring. Why always go with the Nordiques? Oh, you could have done the Huskies because they almost switched. It's boring. We've done it before. We've done it before. Shout out to the not Phoenix San Antonio Suns, whose jerseys, I mean, for any team with the chrome, let's be honest, the chromed out look works best for these guys. It does. I mean, again, that logo looks like something you'd find on a juice bottle for kids. But there you go. Off-brand Solar Bears. Reaper, I'm glad we went to the same spot with that. Let's see. We're almost done. We got the San Diego Surf. As we are nearly done looking at the jerseys. How do rosters work with Custom League? Is it auto-filled with free agents? So, Fuse, up on the YouTube side of things, check out episode... Nope, that's not what I wanted. Check out episode 0 on my main channel. It goes over everything about Custom League, and if you still have questions after that, let me know. But it fully explains the process in terms of how to set everything up, all the different options that you have, stuff like that. It should be able to answer all of your questions. All right, I think we are down to our final team. Still the best new logo in the game. Again, if you want to see all the new logos, check out Tactics HD on YouTube. He did his little run through of all the logos. I made that video for like 3 years in a row, and this was the first year I forgot. And at this point, it's too late to make it. Go give Tactics the view. Subscribe while you're there. Do it. But yeah, San Francisco. Unfortunately, the jerseys are very disappointing. Like I said, the process was literally like, okay, this, you know, when I did those videos at the end of NHL 22, like, oh, who was the best draft class? I went 1, 2, 3, 4, like 2003, 2004, 2005, 2006. This year, I did reverse order. So obviously, the first team I made got this jersey, second, third, fourth, fifth, so on and so forth. And yeah, it made for some good jerseys for some teams and some very, very shit jerseys for others. But they, without a doubt, have the best logo. Without a doubt. But yeah, those are our 16 new teams. Can you download created teams? So if you download someone's roster file, you can get the custom rosters or the custom teams that are there. And Fuse, thank you for the follow. God, am I liking 23? I haven't done too much on it yet. My expectations are incredibly low. I know the game's been out for 14 minutes, a little bit longer with the trial. Hey, how's the game? It's great. Buy it. Use code TUGI in the item shop. No Saskatchewan teams. I based it off of population. I did only add 2 Canadian teams. I should have added more, but if you base it off of population, you know, you got to go with like Hamilton first, and it's like, I don't really want another Ontario team. No offense. I don't need any competition in my province as we control Toronto. But as well, if you missed that first video, you can go check that out to see exactly what every team ended up looking like. We did a 48-team fantasy draft. Guess who went number 1? You might be wrong. No Hawaii, no Maine. We didn't go didn't go too crazy like that, you know? We didn't go too crazy. That said, you only draft 32 players, so we need to fill out this roster a little bit more. To fill out this roster a little bit more. So who do we want to bring in? Corey Schneider. Why not? Woo. Yeah, I'm not giving him $16 million. That's not going to happen. And Anton Khudobin. Why not? We'll bring Dobby in there too. Defensively, I don't think there are any real prospects left. And I am correct. Oof. Imagine 48 teams holding a draft and you don't get picked. Well, every single person you're looking at right now can say that. Let's bring in Habs legend, Corey Schooneman. Gavin Bayreuther, Seattle Kraken legend. Gavin Bayreuther. Phil Myers, who... I like that Phil Myers re-signed with Tampa and then they put him in the minors. Immediately just like, yeah, you can go through waivers. That's fine. We'll bring in Brendan Smith as well. And then forward-wise, obviously we're going to sign Joe Thornton. Joachim Blichfeld didn't get picked. He's not going to be that good, but we'll pick him up. It's not looking that good from there in terms of prospects. Let's sign Joe Thornton. We'll sign Eric Stahl. We will sign Brian Boyle. Tyler we got to bring Tyler Bozak back to Toronto, right? Matt Martin, Leafs legend Matt Martin. Brings us up to 12 contracts out. We'll leave it at that for the moment. Oh, totally Spanish. It's an old channel meme for those who have been around long enough. For Mr. Kiviranta. All right. Lou Reborn. Any rules or restrictions? Nah, just the fantasy draft. Just the fantasy draft. Wow, Bozak and Thornton. Eric Stahl as well. Brian Boyle. All went elsewhere. I didn't expect anyone to reject. Have to change up some of the other things as well. I don't want to get pestered with trade offers. So our goalies, Ottinger, Grubauer. How do you download rosters? So my custom rosters aren't out there right now, but give me a couple of minutes and I'll upload them if you really want these teams. Let's see. So again, we, through that draft, elected to select prospects. I also, some people caught it. I accidentally took Jamie Drysdale instead of Bowen Byram. Whoops. But is what it is. Is what it is. All right. That's going to be our defense core for season 1. You thought that the Anaheim Ducks left Jamie Drysdale just hanging in the goddamn breeze with no one around him to play with. You haven't seen this alternate reality Maple Leafs team, okay? You have not seen this team before, have you? My God. It's going to be terrible. We're going to be so bad. Hung out to Drysdale. There you go. Of course, Jack Hughes was our big forward. Our big forward addition. It became very obvious when we were and where we were allowed to select that in terms of trying to instantly build a good team, it wasn't going to happen. So I didn't even try. And we just went all out for prospects. Do have to make a decision on Genther and Eklund. But we also have to sign a few more forwards, so Operation Get Connor Bedard. Yeah, basically. For season 1, definitely. All right, a few more forwards since we had a few guys reject. Louis Eriksson. This was a fantasy. Yes, Brent, this was a fantasy draft. I'm surprised you had to ask that. Let's get the real deal. Everyone loves James Neal. I think I still have, my James Neal jersey is literally right over there. Brett Ritchie. Franz Nielsen. He just retired, didn't he? Why is he in here? Did he not retire? Elite prospects. Franz Nielsen. I know he was playing in Germany. Oh yeah, Franz Nielsen retired. They didn't take him out. Love it. EA rosters, got to deal with it for at least a little bit. By the way, for people who are asking about Martin Ferk's shot power, how's a nice 88 sound for you? How's a nice 88 sound? Leafs legend, Josh Levo. Got to bring him back. Got to bring him back, no doubt. Leafs legend, Kyle Clifford. Bring him back too. Cali Castillo was once, Gregory McKegory. Got to bring him back. We're just bringing back all the old Leafs. We could bring in Seth Griffith. Just looking for good meme players right now. And let's be honest, there's some good ones. Blake Como's out there. What are we up to? 46. 46 if everything goes through here. Yeah, Ross Johnson would be a pretty good signing. Charles Houdon. All right. Let's see. I mean, grinders are nice. Enforcers are better. We got Ross Johnston in there. Spencer Ashushak. I guess Sushak. He's 6'6", 231. I want to get his name right. I'm a taller, bigger guy. This guy would fuck me up. Jan Eberle. Only I could get Jordan as well. And then Kyle Newber. Let's go for Kyle Newber. Got a couple of enforcers in there. You know? Got to get a couple of enforcers in there. It's the way to do it. It's the way to do it. Beautiful. Beautiful. Ah, Louis went to Indianapolis instead. All these veterans breaking my heart by going elsewhere. You hate to see it. Can you sign Yager? He is not out there, unfortunately. Let's see. So we have 10, 11, 12 with Genther. So let's, I think we are going to drop Genther and Eklund. Let's bring up Neal. We'll bring up Ross Johnston. We want to protect our younger players by not having them be on this god-awful team, you know? We want to do that. So, I always forget this, by the way. On Xbox, it's not the Y button anymore to do best lines. Click left stick in, then hit head coach preferred lines. It used to be the Y button to do that. That is no longer the case. And it is very, very distracting, and I am going to make that mistake a lot. A lot. So, oh my god, this team, though. This team. I just realized how few centers we have. God damn it, hit the Y button again. I'm going to do that so often for the first couple of weeks of this game. Maybe we should actually call up a couple of centers, huh? At least Greg McKegg. At least Greg McKegg. Belmar can play center. Do I have anybody else? Oh, dude, we are gonna be absolutely terrible. This is gonna be impressive how bad this team is. Oh goodness. We'll just leave that the way it is. Well, I guess we can bump up James Neal a little bit. What a team. What a team. Top defense pair, Chris Russell, Jamie Drysdale. Oh, no. But at least in goal, we have Jake Ottinger and Philip Grubauer. It's like 24th round pick, Philip Grubauer. And of course, our team strategies, all of this, while it's a nice change for Hut or Versus, you can't control this. It's tied to the coach. You are allowed to change like power play distributor and stuff like that. I guess our finisher on the power play. Okay, our distributor on the power play needs to be Jamie Drysdale. Our finisher needs to be Jack Hughes. Our puck carrier for zone entries can also be Jack Hughes. Let's run Jack Hughes as our primary offensive option. Then the AHL, which of course we will have the Toronto Marlies. Let's go best lines. And just make sure younger guys are in. So Sebastian Casa is in the AHL. With the backup behind Michael Hutchison. Defensively, looks like all of our young guys are going to be in here too. Yeah, the strats thing is relatively disappointing. I was aware of it for a while and just obviously not able to say anything because of NDA. But I don't really have a way. I'm going to play Topin Diamala over Caden Korshak. But in terms of prospects, we are very well set up. Very, very well set up. To the point where it didn't even have Brad Lambert in there by default. Not ideal. Not ideal. Let's, there we go, swap some people around. All right, cool. So the rosters are set. At the very least, just got here. Why does this look like an actual Leafs team? Back to the glory days of 2014. Oh, it's beautiful. So the last thing that we'll kind of do here before getting the season started. I mean, there's nothing we can really do coaching staff-wise or anything like that. There's not going to be anybody available. I do have certain settings to change as well. You cannot edit player types or positions. They intentionally took that away. I don't know why. NBA in franchise mode, my NBA, you can change whatever you want. In this, nothing. Because it was viewed as cheating? I guess? How else could they have possibly viewed it to take it away? Also, the Leafs helmet still looks like a different color from the rest of the jersey. That's a little bit rough.